And earlier, a delegation from West Africa's ECOWAS bloc yesterday met with Niger's ousted president, Mohammed Bazoum. The delegation was led by former Nigeria's military leader, Abdulsalam Abubakar. After a failed attempt to meet the military leader, General Abdourahamane Tiani, on August 3, the delegation had audience with the soldier. ECOWAS representative told the media after the chat that there is a clear window for possible solution.
To mun gan shi mun ji nashi ra'ayin da kuma abin da aka yi mashi, kuma akwai su 'yan matsaloli da yake tare da shi wanda ya mana bayani wanda za mu je mu gaya mu shugabanninmu.
A takaice ba wani bayani kenan.
To wato dai kina so ki ce in gaya miki abin da ya ce. Wannan kuma ai ba zan yi mashi adalci, ba zan yi mashi shugabanni na adalci ba. Ya kamata su ji daga gare mu, daga wurin mu tukuna kafin ku yada labari. Kin san da na faɗi maki yanzu kafin je hotel ma kun watsa.
Kamar kare akwai alamun haske akan tattaunawan da ake ciki.
To akwai, alhamdulillah, ba shakka wannan taro da aka yi, Allah ya samu mabudi kenan da zamu ci gaba da tattaunawa don a samu.
Meanwhile, Mali and Burkina Faso have dispatched warplanes to Niger in a show of solidarity after a potential military intervention by the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS. A report aired on Niger's state television emphasized that joint efforts by Mali and Burkina Faso in support of Niger and deployment of warplanes within Niger's borders. Also, it lauded Mali and Burkina Faso's move as a concrete action to respond to any attack on Niger, noting that the aircraft were Super Tucano fighter jets. And joining me live to discuss these further is Nelson Ekojimi, an Executive Director, Committee for Protection of People's Mandate. Nelson, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now let's talk about this Niger issue unraveling. Now, the Niger's coup leader, and that General Abdourahamane Tiani, has proposed a 3-year transition of power to civilian rule after meeting with a delegation of West African leaders. What do you make of these new developments?
Thank you very much. The new development signposts the intransigence of the Nigerian coup leaders that these coupists are not prepared, to reason to rationality and dialogue to exit, power peacefully, because they are forcefully torpedo, a constitutional government in Niger. And for me, this is an affront, not only on democracy, but on the resolve of the whole world, as championed by ECOWAS, that the military coup leader should restore democracy and, leave office by making sure President Bazoum returns to office. But as we can see, these coup leaders, because they are getting support from, birds of a feather like themselves from maybe Burkina Faso and Mali, are digging in. But I can assure you, they should not test the resolve, of the whole world, because the world has spoken with one voice. Return Bazoum to power, or you'll be forced out. And with what the military coupists have just done, it signposts clearly that they are ready to take on the rest of the world, and we'll see how it unfolds in the coming days.
ECOWAS has reiterated its position. To the coup leaders, which is to reinstate the ousted president, Mohammed Bazoum. Do you think ECOWAS will agree to this proposal?
Well, this goes beyond ECOWAS. This is about, the whole world, as I've said earlier on, because the position of ECOWAS has been, ratified or has been applauded by even the AU, the UN, the American government, the French government, and even the European Union. So it is not about ECOWAS. It's about the world telling you that what you have done amounts to usurpation, violation of international treaties that states should be governed democratically. And this posture by General Tiani, I think is just mere empty noise, because I can assure you, Niger and Mali and Burkina Faso are just 3 countries. ECOWAS and the rest of the world, ECOWAS alone is peopled by 16 countries, and if you take away these 3, you have 13 left. And if you look at the composition of AU as well as the European Union and the rest of the world, you can count the numbers. But the position of the Nigerian coupists is unacceptable. ECOWAS must not backtrack on its ultimatum to these coup leaders that will use force if dialogue fails. And from the development, we can see that these coupists are not ready for dialogue. So the next option is to take the available routes.
Okay. Now let's look at the duration given by those in power in Niger. Now 3 years seems to be a long time for transition of power from military to civilian rule, especially as the junta gave no details on the potential transition, saying only that the principles for the move would be decided within 30 days at a dialogue to be hosted by the ruling military council. Now, is this a ploy to buy time and sort of silence ECOWAS and the international community?
It's a ploy, rightly. You recollect, just recently we had the same experience with Mali, and repeatedly the Malian, renegades, the coupists in Mali, have refused to keep to the agreements. And like we said, thunder does not strike twice in the same, location. The coupists, from all intents and purposes, are not interested in relinquishing power. They have not, assumed power based on the legitimacy of the people of Niger. They have assumed power illegally. And, whether they want to buy time or not, we are not ready to tolerate that. And, like I said earlier on, the rest of the world is watching us. Whether we view the needful as, as ECOWAS and the onus lies on ECOWAS, to send in military troops, because they don't have the support of the people of the renegades, and having support from maybe some members of the civilian populace, which is not unexpected in any society that you have human beings. There will always be diversity of opinions and biases. But largely the fact remains that these coupists have assumed power illegitimately. So whatever ploy they are using will not serve with us.
All right, thank you so much, Nelson Ekujimi, for joining us this morning to give your insight on the Niger crisis.